All right, what's up, YouTube? This is day one of my mental health boot camp series. I've already started my previously known as Fat and Lazy boot camp series, but I've changed it over because we've progressed a little bit with that to our body boot camp series. I completed day three of that today. Excellent job there, and I'll post videos on that as I go along. But today is day one of our mental health boot camp series, and this series is called Firing Your Frustrations. A lot of the stress and anguish and emotional pain that we go through is related to mental health. Mental health and your emotions and those types of things go hand in hand. And a lot of that is a result of frustrations, of learning to effectively manage those things that we cannot control and effectively manage those things that we can control as well. A lot of times when we come to a point in our lives wherein things are kind of out of control, either by lack of action on our own part or negative action on someone else's part, we go into that downward spiral. And I'm very diverse in where I pull my information and what I use to inspire me. When I think about the downward spiral, I think of the card, the Tower, in the tarot card readings, and also the card, the Thunderbolt in the Osha Zen tarot readings, which I did post, but the video was long, so I had to kind of edit it, and I hadn't had a chance to cut it yet. And basically, both of those cards indicate that something is out of order, things have gotten out of control, and basically everything's gonna fall down, and you're gonna have to start all over again. And when it gets to that point in your life, that's when you have the most stresses of all. You know, you're most frustrated of all. So you have to make sure that you're properly maintaining your emotional health, which really is what mental health is. I think it has more to do with your emotions, of managing your emotional health. Now, there are things that can trigger us in our environment and our interactions to, feel frustrated, feel like we don't have any control over it. But the truth of the matter is that, yes, you do have control, in many of your situations. And even in situations where you have absolutely no authority, you still have that inner control. For now, we're not talking about transhumanism, but for now, you do have that inner control. So, um, when I talk about things here, I talk about things because we're all human and we're all interconnected and related. I talk about things that, you know, how I manage things in my life. These are real life experiences. And for me, I've been very frustrated. And like I said, I always work on the total being, the physical, the mental, the spiritual, the social, and the financial. So we started with the physical, and all of it is interconnected. So there's not one that's more important than the other. But now we're going to work on the mental, the frustrations. Um, the first thing is to determine what it is that's actually got you frustrated. Okay, for me, my frustration is the job hunt. And the good thing about YouTube is that you find out in a lot of your frustrations and a lot of the pain that you feel, you're actually not alone. There's a lot of other people going through the exact same thing, the exact same way, or a slightly different way than you. So you're not alone in whatever it is you're going through. So job hunt is the one thing. Number two, I'm frustrated with myself. This is usually the root cause of everything because at the root of you and your world is you, and you, if you have not managed it to the point where everything's moving smoothly, you're gonna feel frustrated. You're gonna be disappointed. So those are my two major frustrations. Um, so once you determine what it is that frustrates you, your next step is to take positive action in addressing that frustration. And sometimes it can lead to more frustration. And if that happens, there's something else at the base root that you need to dig down a level deeper to kind of manage. So my job frustration, that's the big sore thumb that you can see pounding away. That's a big frustration. But what's the underlying factor in of that frustration is my environment. My environment is not so great. Now, it's all a matter of perception because some people are just like, oh, that's a trash heap she lives in. And, they might be right. It really, really might be right, especially for a woman of my age. And then other people may be like, oh my gosh, she has a place to sleep and lay her head, oh my gosh, So it's just, you have to take into consideration what you have and value it. So my mindset has to change, and I have to look around me and say, wow, You know, I could treat this like a garbage heap, or I could say, wow, what a beautiful and amazing place that I have. What a blessing to have a private, personal haven, you know, that I can manage. So the thing is, my mom always told me when I was younger that she was a very clean woman. And, you know, I had my moments of very, very cleanness and my moments of artistry where everything is just everywhere, you know. But I remember there was one point in my life where my place was a mess. When I was with my mom, I was like 15 maybe. And she was so angry at me. I mean, she was just like, "How do you live like this?" She was like, "I'm surprised you don't have nightmares." And she was serious. She's serious. She was really serious. "I'm surprised that you do not have nightmares with your place looking like this. When you get up early in the morning, you clean, you make sure everything's beautiful and nice. Here, I'll help you." Now, doesn't that feel much better? You know. And my thing was always, "Oh, but I'm an artist, and my environment represents how I'm feeling at the time, you know, because it wasn't always like that." And that just made her go bonkers on me. So, and she, like I said, she always used to say, you know, Moria, you know, and I forget because it was in Korean, so I don't remember most of the Korean, but, you know, she would say that I'll tell you one thing, and you always, ongtung gangtung, you know, you always do the opposite of whatever I tell you, you know? So, and she was like, one day you're gonna miss me. You know, she says one day she would tell me Koreans always have like stories that go with everything. So she had the story about the frog in the willow tree and the mom, and basically the mom told the frog to bury her when she died close to the willow tree. He buried her close to the water. The water came and washed her away. It's pretty much what she was saying. You know, you're gonna learn to listen to me when I'm gone. So I am far away from my mother, have been far away from her for some time. So um, this is a result of me not listening, because now I have this going on. So that's the first step in managing the frustration. So we're gonna do this together. So if any of y'all are going through the same thing, whatever type of frustration it is, especially if it's job frustration, you know, and for me it stemmed from the legal system. The legal system is what started it all. But when it comes back around full circle, you know, is you have your life as organized as possible. There are things that's gonna happen that was totally out of my control, completely out of your control. But then there are many, many things that you can't control to better the quality of your life. So that's what we need to focus on. So that's what I'm focusing on, guys. I gotta get, you know, home base straight, because if I don't have this right, you know, the way that I present myself to the world is not gonna be right. And when people have misconceptions or negative perceptions of me, I'm not going to, you know, adequately be able to, you know, pull my resources and be like, no, that is not right. So, um, you know, this is my mental health boot camp, firing your frustrations. The first step is to discover what your frustrations are, determine why those things make you frustrated. What are you going to do about the frustrations, and what have you done to overcome them? So that's where I am right now. So like I said, I'm gonna hit y'all back in a couple of hours so that we can see what my progress is. If y'all happen to be hanging out, you know, do what you got to do, and, you know, progress some, and then, you know, we can kind of check each other out on that. All right, thanks, bye.